Kurt Cobain, the iconic frontman of Nirvana, was a huge fan of John Lennon, but he also found him to be a deeply troubled individual. And you might be surprised to learn that Cobain once referred to Lennon as quote-unquote disturbed. But what led to this intriguing statement? What did he mean by that? In this video, we will take a closer look at Kurt Cobain's thoughts about John Lennon. We'll also explore how Lennon's life and music influenced Cobain. So stay with us to learn about this interesting connection between these two famous musicians. And don't forget to subscribe. Kurt Cobain and John Lennon were two of the most influential and iconic musicians ever. They were both known for their unique, groundbreaking sounds and candid, outspoken lyrics. Their music was super popular and still is today. Cobain deeply admired the Beatles since he was a kid, and their music was a significant part of his life. His family knew about his love for the Fab Four, and at his funeral, they chose to play In My Life as a tribute. Notably, this song was written by John Lennon, Cobain's favorite member of the Beatles. Dave Grohl once reflected on the importance of this song, saying, "It means a lot to me because it was the song that was played at Kurt Cobain's memorial." He added that on that day, after everyone had shared their thoughts, this song played, allowing everyone to celebrate Cobain's love for the Beatles one last time together. Grohl admitted that even now when he hears it, the song touches a special place in his heart that no other song can reach. Cobain mostly spoke publicly about his love for the Beatles once, and from his comments, it's clear that he had a deep connection with John Lennon that went beyond just their music. He said, "That day, after everyone had said their piece, this next song came over the speakers, and everyone got to celebrate Kurt's love of the Beatles one last time together. Still to this day, when I hear it, it touches a place in me that no other song ever will. It's called In My Life. And knowing how much of a fan Kurt was of the Beatles and how much of an influence they were to everything we've ever done, I'd like to play this one for him." But despite this love, Cobain also had a complex and sometimes critical view of Lennon. In a 1993 interview with Rolling Stone, Cobain famously called Lennon disturbed. "John Lennon was my favorite Beatle, hands down," Cobain said. "I don't know who wrote what parts of what Beatles song, but Paul McCartney embarrasses me. Lennon was disturbed," and then he laughs. So I could relate to that. So what did Cobain mean when he called Lennon disturbed? Cobain also praised Lennon for his determination to question the current quo, and stated he could relate to Lennon's battles with addiction and mental health. However, he added that Lennon had a tough personality and was prone to manipulation. Now, before we proceed further with their bond, we must look at their life and singing career. Cobain was born on February 20th, 1967 in Aberdeen, Washington. He loved music from a young age. At age 14, he got his first guitar and started playing around with songs and words that would later become anthems for a whole generation. Cobain shot to fame very quickly. In the late 1980s, he helped start the band Nirvana, which came to be known as the face of the grunge movement. Their big break came with the record Nevermind, which came out in 1991 and included the hit song Smells Like Teen Spirit. This record made Nirvana famous worldwide, and Kurt Cobain became a reluctant but undeniable voice for disillusioned young people. While Cobain was making waves in the late 20th century, John Lennon left an indelible mark on the music world decades earlier. Born on October 9th, 1940 in breathtaking Liverpool, England, Lennon co-founded the Beatles, a band that needs no introduction. Their influence on pop culture and music remains unparalleled. The Beatles' success was staggering. With albums like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and Abbey Road, they rewrote the rules of popular music. Lennon, as the group's principal songwriter and a charismatic figure, became a symbol of the counterculture movement during the 1960s. His compositions, such as Imagine, resonate with audiences worldwide. Now, coming back to the point. Cobain's admiration for John Lennon was not a well-kept secret. He openly expressed his reverence for the former Beatle in interviews and writings. But what exactly was it about Lennon that captivated Cobain? Kurt Cobain was amazed by John Lennon's music. The Beatles changed how music sounds today, and Cobain liked that. Also, Lennon wrote songs about deep feelings and things happening worldwide. Cobain liked how Lennon could say important things in his songs. Cobain's love for Lennon was also evident in his music. The Nirvana song "Serve the Servants" is a direct homage to Lennon's song "Revolution." Both songs are anthems of social and political change. Cobain also covered several Lennon songs in concert, including "Imagine," "Working Class Hero," and "Help." His covers were always powerful and moving, reflecting his deep appreciation for Lennon's music. In addition to his music, Cobain spoke openly about his admiration for Lennon in interviews. He said that Lennon was one of the few people who could write a catchy song about social change, and that he respected Lennon's intelligence and willingness to speak out against the establishment. In a 1992 interview with Rolling Stone, Cobain stated, "I'm not mad about any of the comparisons," meaning to the Beatles, "because they're the best band. They probably could have continued to put out great work if Lennon hadn't died." He didn't stop there. Cobain often expressed his desire to meet Lennon if he had been alive. He once said, "If I could meet any musician who's dead, it would have to be Lennon. I'd like to meet him, just to see what made him tick." Now, the question is, despite so much love and respect, why would he call him disturbed? When Kurt Cobain talked about John Lennon being disturbed, it might sound a bit strange initially, but Cobain didn't mean it as an insult. To him, Lennon was more than just a famous musician. He saw him as a complex soul facing similar life challenges. It was actually a term of affection, a way of acknowledging the deep connection Cobain felt with Lennon's intricate character. Sharing an appreciation for music wasn't the only thing that bonded Cobain and Lennon. Both artists faced their own issues head-on and made no pretenses about being spotless performers. They admitted their faults and made an effort to improve as a result of their experiences. However, the public display of their internal conflicts under the spotlight of celebrity served to deepen their bond with one another. Cobain expressed deep sympathy for Lennon, particularly regarding his time spent locked up in that apartment. Despite Lennon's profound love for Yoko Ono and their child, Cobain believed Lennon's life felt like a prison. He felt it wasn't fair, and in essence highlighted a fundamental problem he had with the concept of celebrity and how society treated famous individuals. In his view, there needed to be a change in the way people dealt with celebrities. He continued saying, "From the books I've read, and I'm so skeptical of anything I read, especially in rock books, so I just felt really sorry for him to be locked up in that apartment. Although he was totally in love with Yoko and his child, his life was a prison. He was imprisoned. It's not fair. That's the crux of the problem that I've had with becoming a celebrity. The way people deal with celebrities. It needs to be changed. It really does." Cobain also drew parallels between his struggles with fame and those of Lennon. He understood that no matter how sincerely he tried to communicate his feelings, it often came across as mere complaining. The challenges of dealing with fame weighed heavily on both of them. He continued saying in the interview, "No matter how hard you try, it only comes out like you're bitching about it. I can understand how a person can feel that way and almost become obsessed with it, but it's so hard to convince people to mellow out. Just take it easy and have a little bit of respect. We all shit." He empathized with Lennon's apparent obsession with these issues and the difficulty convincing people to relax and show a little respect. He believed that everyone, famous or not, faced challenges and deserved understanding. Cobain recognized eerie parallels between his struggles with fame and those of Lennon. No matter how earnestly he tried to convey his emotions, he knew he often came across as merely grumbling. Both of them felt the weight of the pressures associated with fame. Cobain understood Lennon's interest in these matters and the challenge of getting others to relax and show compassion. Both creators shared an intense opposition to the pitfalls of the spotlight. Cobain related deeply to Lennon's story, especially as he dealt with Nirvana's meteoric rise to fame. Cobain struggled with self-doubt and personal issues due to his solitude and the enormous constraints of fame. By reading about Lennon's life, Cobain learned more about the person behind the song. Cobain connected with Lennon's vulnerability and humanity, which relieved him when he was alone. Cobain found comfort in Lennon's journey from fame to self-reflection, which showed him that he wasn't the only one going through hard times. So that's all for today's video. Let's sign off. But before that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. We'll see you in the next video.